For the first time in more than 10 years, the White House Situation Room is getting a massive overhaul.
Yeah, and after a several million-dollar renovation, it's now showing off the new and improved Nerve Center. NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba joins us now with a sneak peek at that newly renovated room. So, Monica, good morning. This is the first update in 10 years now. Technology has improved quite a bit since 2007. So what are these major upgrades?
Exactly, Stephen and Joe. This was a fascinating look. I get to work in the White House and cover history on the daily, but to actually be able to see these places where some of the most secretive, sensitive meetings take place for any administration was a real honor. And this new $50 million project took about a year to complete, and essentially it was a gut renovation. The giant conference room known as the JFK conference room in the Situation Room, which is actually a kind of misnomer in and of itself. It's not just one place. It's a huge 5,500 square foot complex that has a lot of different areas like you're seeing there on the screen in these images provided by the White House. So the main conference room, what you see in most of movies and TV shows, there it is right there, was completely torn apart, demolished, and now there are new table, chairs, furniture. But the most important thing is that the security was actually enhanced and all of those capabilities in order to keep up with foreign adversaries. And the director of the Situation Room who led this tour, who works in the White House, told us essentially everything is now up to the highest standard in line with the intelligence community.
Now all those movies and TV shows are going to have to update their sets so it's accurate. So Monica, since they could not use the room while it was being worked on, what did the White House do during the renovations?
They created other secure areas throughout the West Wing and in the Eisenhower Executive Office building, which is just across the way from there. So they did have these backups. And of course, wherever the president is, he can be briefed securely, but he can't always interface with everybody as easily as he can now. And these heads of state calls really are like an orchestra, I was told. There are so many different components that have to come together from within the government. And now they can do that far more easily here. And I was told that when the president saw the newly renovated Situation Room earlier this week, he was quite impressed. He thought it was fantastic. He did a little bit of a ribbon cutting there, and they really did want to try to honor a little bit of what it looked like originally with some modern touches.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, Monica. It really looks like it still has a 1960s vibe to it. Was, aside from the technology, of course, was that important to them during this?
It was. They wanted to honor that past, and it was the JFK administration that actually first established this secure communication suite known later as the Situation Room after the Cuban Missile Crisis. So that is why they still honor it in that way. And a really fun fact, guys, the smaller conference room, which is the one where officials in the Obama administration monitored the raid that killed Osama bin Laden. Remember, that wasn't in the main one. It was in the smaller one. All of that was taken out and preserved, and it's going to be moved the Obama Presidential Center, possibly for future use in a library once that's off the ground. So a huge piece of history saved there. And then they actually turn that space now into two smaller breakout rooms for people to use.
Wow, fascinating. Remembering that iconic photo when you mentioned that. Monica, thanks for that preview. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.